We are going to solve Edexcel past questions from the topic Surds. The first question, A part. Simplify root 50 minus root 18, giving your answer in the form a root 2, where a is an integer. A part carries 2 marks. So let's try to simplify root 50 minus root 18. Root 50 minus root 18. See, 50 is 25 times 2 when we write as a factor of a perfect square. So root 50 we can write as root of 25 times 2. That is root 25 times root 2, that is equal to 5 root 2. So you see, we can write root 50 as 5 root 2. Now root 18. Root 18 we can write as root of 9 times 2. Well, 9 is a perfect square. So we can write it as root 9 times root 2. That is 3 root 2. So 5 root 2 minus 3 root 2. Root 2 is common here. Root 2 times 5 minus 3. That is 2 root 2. See, they have asked in the question to write in the form a root 2 where a is an integer. You can see here a is 2, 2 is an integer. The question carries 2 marks, 1 method mark here for writing this step and 1 answer mark here, that is accuracy mark for getting the correct answer. Now let's see the B part of the question. Hence or otherwise simplify 12 root 3 divided by root 50 minus root 18, giving your answer in the form b root c, where b and c are integers and b is not equal to 1. So let's try B part. According to B part, we have to simplify 12 root 3 divided by root 50 minus root 18. Hence or otherwise. Either we can go from the first part, then we can replace root 50 minus root 18 with 2 root 2. Or we can start from here. So if we start from the previous part, it will be much easier. So what we can do, we can write it as 12 root 3 divided by root 50 minus root 18 is 2 root 2. We got from the previous part. Root 50 minus root 18 is 2 root 2. So we can replace this root 50 minus root 18 with 2 root 2. Now you see what we can do. We can rationalize the denominator to simplify it. For that, we have to multiply numerator and denominator with root 2. See, in the denominator we have a 2 root 2. So to simplify this, we have to multiply numerator and denominator with root 2. Now you see what happens here. 12 root 3 times root 2. We know root 3 times root 2 is root of 3 times 2, that is root 6. So 12 root 6 divided by 2 root 2 times root 2 is 2 times 2, that is 4. Now you see 12 and 4 can be cancelled out. We will get it as 3 root 6. See, it is in the form b root c, where b is equal to 3 and c is equal to 6. 3 and 6 are integers. So we have simplified it. Now you see the question B part carries 3 marks for identifying and writing root 50 minus root 18 as 2 root 2. We are getting 1 method mark here. For writing 12 root 3 divided by 2 root 2. Root 50 minus root 18 as 2 root 2. Then the next mark we are getting here dm1, that is again method mark. 12 root 6 divided by 4. This is dependent on the first method mark, first m1, that's why dm1. And for getting the correct answer, we are getting 1 accuracy mark, A1 here. Let's see the second question. Simplify a part 2 root 5 the whole square. So 2 root 5 the whole square. 2 root 5 the whole square can be written as 2 square times root 5 the whole square. That is 4 times 5. That is equal to 20. The question carries 1 mark, that is B1, independent mark. You don't need to show any step, just write in 20 will give you that 1 mark. Now B part. Simplify root 2 divided by 2 root 5 minus 3 root 2. We have to simplify this and we should get the answer in the form a plus root b, where a and b are integers. To simplify it, what we have to do? We have to rationalize the denominator. For that, numerator and denominator we have to multiply with 2 root 5 plus 3 root 2. You see here it is minus, so we have to multiply numerator and denominator with 2 root 5 plus 3 root 2. Now let's first simplify the denominator. For this one, you see we are getting 1 mark, 1 method mark. Now let's see the denominator. This is in the form a minus b times a plus b. Difference of 2 squares we can apply here. So denominator will be 2 root 5 the whole square minus 3 root 2 the whole square. 2 root 5 is 20. We have already found it in the A part. 3 root 2 the whole square, that is 3 square times root 2 the whole square. That is 9 times 2. That is 18. So 20 minus 18. That's equal to 2. You see, we got the denominator as 2. For getting denominator as 2, we have 1 mark. That is accuracy mark. Now let's simplify the numerator. That is root 2 times 2 root 5 plus 3 root 2. Remove the bracket. Root 2 times 2 root 5. Or 2 root 5 times root 2 plus root 2 times 3 root 2. Or 3 root 2 times root 2. That we can write as 2 times root 5 times root 2. Root 5 times root 2 is root of 5 times 2, that is 2 root 10, plus 3 times root 2 times root 2 is 3 times 2, that is 6. So numerator we got as 2 root 10 plus 6 and denominator as 2. So let's just erase this part. See what we have to simplify? Root 2 divided by 2 root 5 minus 3 root 2. So this must be equal to 2 root 10 plus 6 divided by denominator is 2. Now you can see 2 is common here. We can take that out. 2 times root 10 plus 3 divided by 2. 2 and 2 get cancelled. We get the answer as root 10 plus 3 or 3 plus root 10. This is our final answer. You see it is in the form a plus root b, where a is 3 and b is 10. Both are integers. Now you see we have already seen when we try to rationalize the denominator we are getting 1 method mark. For getting the denominator as 2 we are getting 1 accuracy mark. Then for simplifying the numerator we are getting 1 method mark and getting the final answer as 3 plus root 10. We are getting 1 and accuracy mark. So totally we are getting 4 marks here. Let's see the third question. Solve the equation 10 plus x root 8 is equal to 6x divided by root 2. Give your answer in the form a root b, where a and b are integers. So we have to solve. That means we have to find the unknown. That is our x here. 10 plus x root 8 is equal to 6x divided by root 2. What we can do? We can multiply the entire equation with root 2. The entire equation, that is the left hand side and the right hand side of the equation. The complete equation we are multiplying by root 2. So 10 times root 2, that gives us 10 root 2. X root 8 times root 2 is equal to 6x divided by root 2 times root 2. You see 10 root 2 is 10 root 2, the simplified form. Root 8 times root 2 is root of 16. Root of 8 times 2 root of 16, that is 4. So this becomes 4x. Now you can see 6x divided by root 2 times root 2. So we can cancel this out. So 10 root 2 plus 4x is equal to 6x. You see we have to find x. So we have to make x our subject. So 10 root 2 is equal to 6x minus 4x. So 10 root 2 is equal to 6x minus 4x is 2x. 10 root 2 divided by 2 is equal to x. 10 and 2 get cancelled. 5 root 2 is equal to x. We found our unknown x. See, the question carries how many marks? The question carries 4 marks. So for getting this part, we are getting 2 marks actually. M1, A1, 1 method mark and 1 accuracy mark for multiplying with root 2 and simplifying it. Now you see the next part. For getting 2x is equal to 10 root 2, 6x minus 4x is equal to 10 root 2. There we are getting another method mark, that is for simplifying. Then for getting x is equal to 5 root 2, the final answer, we are getting an accuracy mark. So if we are writing all these steps, we will be getting all the 4 marks. Let's see the fourth question. Express 15 divided by root 3 minus root 27 in the form k root 3, where k is an integer. The question carries 4 marks. See, we have an expression 15 divided by root 3 minus root 27. So first part, we'll first simplify the first part, that is 15 divided by root 3. To simplify it, what we can do? We can multiply top and bottom with root 3, that is rationalize in the denominator. This carries 1 mark, the method mark. So on doing this, we will be getting 15 root 3 divided by 3. 15 and 3 cancel out, we will be getting 5 root 3. For getting this 5 root 3 as answer, you will be getting 1 mark, the accuracy mark. Now let's simplify root 27. Root 27 we know we can write as root of 9 times 3. That is root 9 times root 3. root 9 times root 3. So that we can write as 3 root 3. This is 3 root 3. For writing root 27 as 3 root 3, we get 1 mark. That is B1, the independent mark. Then we can write our expression 15 divided by root 3 minus root 27 as, see, 15 divided by root 3 is 5 root 3 minus root 27 is 3 root 3. See, root 3 is common, take out 5 minus 3. 5 minus 3 is 2, so root 3 times 2, that is 2 root 3. For getting this answer, 1 accuracy mark. See, we have written the expression in the form k root 3, where k is an integer. K is what? K is 2. That's an integer, we know. Let's see the fifth question. Write root 80 in the form c root 5, where c is a positive constant. See, the question carries 1 mark. We have to write root 80 in the form c root 5, where c is a positive constant. Let's see how can we write it. We know 80 can be written as 16 times 5. See, 16 is a perfect square here. So root 80 we can write as root of 16 times 5, that is root 16 times root 5, that is 4 root 5. See, here c is 4. 4 is a positive constant. Once you need to just write 4 root 5, the answer only, no need of showing any steps. Once you write, you will be getting 1 mark, B1, the independent mark. Then we have a rectangle R. A rectangle R has a length of 1 plus root 5 centimeter. We have a rectangle, its name is R, its length is 1 plus root 5 centimeter and an area of root 80 centimeter square. We have to calculate the width of the rectangle R in centimeter, and we have to express our answer in the form P plus Q root 5, where P and Q are integers. See, we have a rectangle whose length of the rectangle is equal to 1 plus root 5 centimeter and area of the rectangle is equal to root 80. Now you see, the area of a rectangle is length times breadth or length times width. The area of the rectangle is length times breadth or length times width. So we can write, let the width of the rectangle be x. Let the width of the rectangle be x. So we know length times width must be area. So 1 plus root 5, that is our length, times our width is our area, that is root 80. Now you see, we can make x our subject, that is our width, root 80 divided by 1 plus root 5. Now you see, root 80 is 4 root 5 that we got from the previous part itself. Root 80 in simplified form is 4 root 5. So 4 root 5 divided by 1 plus root 5. See, for writing root 80 as 4 root 5, we are getting 1 mark, that is B1 mark, the independent one. Now we have to simplify it. Let's do that here. Let's erase their part. So 4 root 5 divided by 1 plus root 5. To simplify it, what we have to do? We have to multiply top and bottom with 1 minus root 5. That means we have to rationalize the denominator. For that we have to multiply numerator and denominator with 1 minus root 5. See, now we can simplify it. 4 root 5 times 1. That is 4 root 5 itself. And 4 root 5 times 1. That is 4 root 5. Minus 4 root 5 times root 5. Or plus 4 root 5 times minus root 5. That is minus 4 root 5 times root 5. You see, 4 root 5 times root 5 is 4 times 5. Now let's see the denominator. The denominator is 1 plus root 5 times 1 minus root 5. For that we can use difference of two squares. That is 1 square minus root 5 the whole square. Root 5 the whole square. That is 5 itself. So 1 square is 1 minus root 5 the whole square is 5. So 4 root 5 minus 20 divided by minus 4. See, we can take 4 out, or we can even take minus 4 out. If you are taking minus 4 out, we will be getting minus root 5 plus 5 divided by minus 4. Minus 4 and minus 4 get cancelled. The answer final one is minus root 5 plus 5, or which is equal to 5 minus root 5. You see, we got the answer in the form P plus Q root 5. You see, P is 5, Q is minus 1. Let's see our sixth question. Write 6 divided by root 5 minus root 2 in the form a root 5 plus b root 2, where a and b are integers. Where a and b are integers to be found. So you see, the question carries 2 marks. Let's try. We have to write 6 divided by root 5 minus root 2 in the form a root 5 plus b root 2. For that, what we need to do? We have to rationalize the denominator. For that, we have to multiply numerator and denominator with root 5 plus root 2. Here it is root 5 minus root 2. So we have to multiply with root 5 plus root 2. So we will get it as 6 times root 5 plus root 2 divided by, bottom we can use difference of two squares. This is in the form a minus b times a plus b. So a square, that is root 5 the whole square, minus b square, root 2 the whole square. Root 5 the whole square is 5 minus 2. See, 5 minus 2 is how much? 5 minus 2 is 3. So we can write it as 6 times root 5 plus root 2 divided by 3. See, 6 and 3 we can cancel out. We will get it as 6 divided by 3 is 2. 2 times root 5 plus root 2. If you remove the bracket, 2 root 5 plus 2 root 2. You see, now it is in the form a root 5. A is 2 plus b root 2. 2 root 2. B is 2. We got our a part. See, here For rationalizing, we are getting one method mark, and getting the correct answer, we are getting one accuracy mark. Now let's see the B part. Hence or otherwise solve the equation. So we need to solve the equation. Root 5x is equal to root 2x plus 18 root 5. Solving means we have to find the unknown. Here the unknown is x. So what we can do? We can write all the x terms together. So root 5x minus root 2x is equal to 18 root 5. We have to find x. For that we have to make x our subject. So we are going to take all the terms containing x to one side. Now factorize it. X times root 5 minus root 2 is equal to 18 root 5. Now you see, we can make x our subject. X is equal to 18 root 5 divided by root 5 minus root 2. Now you see, root 5 minus root 2. 6 divided by root 5 minus root 2 is 2 times root 5 plus root 2. That we have already found. 18 root 5 divided by root 5 minus root 2. We have to find. So you see, we can try to simplify it. We know 6 divided by root 5 minus root 2 is 2 times root 5 plus root 2. So we can rewrite it as 3 times 6, or 6 times 3. 6 times 3 root 5 divided by root 5 minus root 2. See, 18 is 6 times 3. So 6 times 3 root 5 divided by root 5 minus root 2. Now you see, 6 divided by root 5 minus root 2 is how much? 2 times root 5 plus root 2. So 6 divided by root 5 minus root 2. We can write as 2 times root 5 plus root 2. So we can rewrite it. Let me erase this part. We can see here 6 divided by root 5 minus root 2 is 2 times root 5 plus root 2. So this part, you see, this is 6 divided by root 5 minus root 2 times 3 root 5. We can rewrite it as 2 times root 5 plus root 2 times 3 root 5. This part is same as this one. We got that in the A part. So this is equal to 2 times 3 root 5, 6 root 5 times root 5 plus root 2. See, 2 times 3 root 5, 6 root 5 times root 5 plus root 2. Now remove the bracket. 6 root 5 times root 5. 6 root 5 times root 5 plus 6 root 5 times root 2. This is 6 times 5, that is 30, plus this is 6 times root 10, 6 root 10. So we got our final answer as 30 plus 6 root 10. So x is equal to 30 plus 6 root 10. So the question carries 3 marks. We get our first mark here when we write x as 18 root 5 divided by root 5 minus root 2, method mark. Here for simplification we will get another method mark, and here for correct answer we will be getting an accuracy mark. Here are our homework.